Many people wonder what is happening to adults, or what is the future of adults going to be, because parenting has changed so much. In fact, some people might be wondering, how are parents robbing children of adulthood? Well, I'm Nicolene Peck, and I'm a parenting and relationship expert, and today we are going to talk about that. When my grandfather was a teenager, he built his own car, literally built it. All of the pieces arrived from Michigan on a train car, and he went and picked up the pieces, took them home, and built the car. He was like 16 years old. He just looked at the manual and he built it. He had not had any other experience with building cars. He didn't have anyone to teach him about it. He just did it. That is some serious confidence. He just knew, well, somebody's got to figure out how to do it, so I'm going to do it. Nowadays, if you hand something to a young person that is like a mechanical object or something, like the lawnmower, and you say, go mow the lawn, but you don't actually teach them how to work all the function of it, some of them will start to have a panic attack because they are literally being groomed to be told every single thing to do. Even in the online world, where it seems like people are being so innovative, everything is scripted for them. It's intuitive, right? That's how they want to make everything. In fact, we love stuff that's intuitive. At the end of this video, there's going to be other videos you can click. How intuitive! That's so nice. It's so easy, right? We're making life so easy that actually we're hurting the chance of our children of becoming really autonomous, problem-solving, confident adults one day. So how are we keeping our children children? We are doing too much for them. In fact, I think some parents really don't like that their children grow up so fast. It is true, they do grow up fast. In fact, as my children continue to hit adulthood, I look at them and think, I'm not sure I'm done yet, because I absolutely love the time of being a mother and raising my children. But I did tell myself a long time ago, I will not hold my children back. I will not keep them immature. I will not do too much for them so that they don't get the opportunity to learn how to be an adult and to feel confidence launching into adulthood. I've got a 16-year-old son, and the car that he's allowed to drive is one of his stewardships. He takes this car, the kid car that we have at our house, and he does all of the maintenance on it. He checks out all of the fluids and tires and things on it. If he needs something like a haircut, he schedules an appointment and gets his hair cut. If he needs to buy something like a new pair of pants or a new pair of shoes, he just does. In fact, he'll just order things from Amazon and get them delivered with his own money. Now, sometimes he'll sit down with me and say, Mom, would this be a wise purchase? I'm looking at doing this. And I'll discuss and counsel with him about it so that he makes the right choices. But how does he get his money if he has so much money to do so many things? Well, he works. He works for Teaching Self-Government, which is the company that I own that does all of the parenting teaching. He also works for his dad's business doing plumbing contracting work. He also works for a local food establishment and does service work in his community. So he's 16 and he's living what seems like a pretty full adult life. He's also doing his school assignments and preparing for college. On his own, he decided when he was a freshman that he was going to take his college entrance exam just to get it out of the way. He is that type of a kid. And this is because we've never held him back. All of our children entered adulthood not with trepidation, but with excitement. Sure, there's a few little nerves like, I wonder what will happen with this. And it's going to be different to leave some of my friends behind and go make new friends at college, or when I go live in Japan for a couple of years doing a mission for my church. But I think I'll be okay, they decide. And they go off and they become adults. So I had to help them become mature early on. Now, this didn't mean that I would force them or put additional pressure on them or slave drive them, but I showed them the possibilities of what they could do, and then I allowed them to harness that power within and seize the day by doing those responsibilities instead of expecting that mom or dad would do them for them. So as well as having responsibilities for some of their own finances, which we give them when they're 12 years old, we say when you're 12 years old, you can start buying your own clothes, you can buy gifts, any extra things you want, souvenirs when we go out of town, that kind of thing. And they know it's coming long before they're 12 years old. So by the time they get to be older, it should be no surprise that they've made money, saved money, and they know how to budget their money. They've been working on it since they've been 12 years old. But as well as that, we teach them lots of adult skills. Money management and making money, those are just a couple of the adult skills that they need. They need to learn how to grow things, how to make food from nothing, like from the raw grain, how to make bread, how to fix basic appliances and basic mechanics, how to sew things, how to create things and craft things, put things together, how to sell things to other people, how to start businesses. All of these things are things that we have taught our children so that they would be prepared to launch into adulthood. And did they fail sometimes? The answer is yes, of course. But it was exciting to learn those things. We've had people come and live in our home who had not had that kind of training, and they've watched my children at age 10 years old or 8 years old standing at a table talking to people about parenting with their children and teaching them how to correct their children for misbehavior and telling them maybe you could use this course or this book because that would help you with this or with this, depending on the needs of the person. And I had 20-year-old people watching my young children going, where'd they learn that skill? How can I learn that? And I thought, well, it's because I took them along with me in my work, in my mission, and the things I was going to do, and they learned how to communicate with people. Communicating with other people is a vital thing. And if there is one thing the young people right now are struggling with the most, it's how to have really good, productive communication. We absolutely have got to teach those skills to our young people, and it starts with their communications with us. In fact, many times when there are social settings happening, you see the young people, the teenagers, on their phones, looking down, not even talking to each other, not even their same age peers all of the time. They're just staying in their own little world, not wanting to talk to anybody. And if someone tries to solicit some sort of information out of them, they seem like it's awkward, they stumble, and they don't always feel like they know what to say. Socially, our children are starving for good skills. In fact, we've had such an emphasis on social development. People say one of the reasons children go to school the most is for their social, yet for some reason, we are failing our children socially. That's because the best social skills are actually ideally learned at home with the family. Mother and father, siblings, teaching social to the children. That is a great way to prepare them for adulthood. One way that parents hurt their children is by not planning ahead. So parents need to deliberately plan what type of a family culture they want to have, what type of communications they want to have, and then take the steps that they need to achieve those things. There are things that we could do if we knew what they were that would make a difference in helping our children prepare for adulthood. So part of planning ahead is making goals. So our children should be involved in a home culture that makes goals, that makes plans for the future. So make goals and plans with your children, have meetings with them. In our family, we have 3 different types of meetings. We have couples meetings, family meetings, and individual one-on-one mentor meetings. In all these meetings, we make goals. We have that as part of our culture. We're a goal-setting family. Probably one of the biggest things that we are doing to damage our children's future and to make it so that they are not making it toward adulthood like they should is we're caring too much about what we want and what we think as the parents. The parents oftentimes are balking at the idea of sacrificing for the children. It has always been the norm that parents sacrifice for children. It's also always been the norm that children sacrifice for family and parents. So the sacrifice is supposed to run both ways. Oftentimes the parents see a lack of sacrifice from the child, they complain, and then the parent loses interest in sacrificing. This is what I see right now. I also sometimes see parents wrapped up in their own business, their own pursuits, and they don't sacrifice. And then they wonder why their children don't sacrifice for family either. So one thing that we can definitely do to help prepare our children for a life of happiness and joy is teach them that sacrifice is okay. I know it sounds like a really bad word, but sacrifice is a beautiful thing. It gives you purpose in your life, and it's not bad to put your life on hold for a minute to help serve somebody else. Our society is obsessed with feelings right now. I don't know if you've noticed that. This doesn't mean that feelings are bad or somehow shouldn't be acknowledged, because they definitely should. We all have feelings. But we've adopted this mentality that we should always follow our feelings. And what this ends up doing is coddling the minds of our young people. So what happens is they end up thinking that if they have a feeling, they're entitled to something, and that they can't overcome their feeling in any kind of a way. This type of coddling puts them in a position of disadvantage as an adult. In fact, they'll struggle with their relationships. So what's the opposite of coddling? Teaching a person that they can make a definite decision for themselves and they can learn self-government. So that's where all of my teachings come in. I am the self-government lady. I teach people how to control themselves. What is self-government? Self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any situation and then possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So what that means is I'm analyzing my own thoughts, my own behaviors, and my own desires on a regular basis. And I'm analyzing how they relate to other people around me as well. And I'm constantly determining what is the best way for me to communicate my feelings or my thoughts in behavior to other people. This means I plan it out. I don't just shoot from the hip, get a feeling and do something, and create a habit that's hard to break and could be destructive for relationships. So the coddling that we're doing of the minds of our children by inflating the value of feelings and putting them out of context could be really damaging to their future. We also give our children too much of these things: money, pleasure, entertainment, excuses. We allow them to come up with reasons why they can be entitled and feel like that's okay and it's normal. We've got to make sure that we allow them to earn a lot of things in their life and not just give it to them and dote on them. The more we do that, the more they will feel entitled to getting whatever pleasure or thing that they want without having to put in any work to get it. Some other things that we can do to help our children is teach them to have responsibilities and to like responsibilities, as that's part of growing up. We can also teach them to step out of their comfort zone, which is something that every adult needs to do on a daily basis. Adult life can be a little bit painful sometimes, and we need to feel like that's okay. We also need to teach good social skills to our children. They need to know how to communicate with each other, and they're going to learn that from us. Our children are not doomed. Our children can become fantastic adults. In fact, there's probably multiple things that I've shared that you're already doing in your home. So now just find some of the things you're not doing and improve upon those things. If we deliberately think about what our role is in the lives of our children and what that will do for their future lives as adults, I think we'll make more deliberate decisions and find more joy in magnifying our role in their life. After all this talk about helping our children get ready for adulthood, I think the next video that you would like the most is this one called How to Instill Responsibility in Your Child. Go ahead and click that one now.